Okay, so let's have a chat. We've got these two situations. The basic thing we're talking about is that Rav Huna says that if somebody claims that they no longer have the thing they were meant to look after, they have to make a shvu'a, they have to make an oath to that effect. Because we suspect that maybe he says it's lost, but really he's got it out the back and he's going to sell it when things are quieting down and make some money. So whenever you claim that the thing you had for somebody else has gone away, you have to make a shvu'a. That is Rav Huna's rule. And we're going to put that in the back of our minds. We're going to come back to it later. So one more time, let's say I'm looking after something for you, and I say that robbers came and held me up at gunpoint and took it and ran off with it, and there's nothing I could do. Fine, you might believe me, but Rav Huna says make a shvu'a, because we don't believe you. Actually, we think that maybe you just nicked it and you're going to sell it off later. That is Rav Huna's rule. Now, the Gemara then brings 4 cases.
Why would you need something with somebody if you're not sure they're a trustworthy person?
Well,
if they do make a shvu'a, you know it's an honest shvu'a.
Well,
whereas if they're a ganef, they don't care making a shvu'a and stuff.
So sometimes I have no choice, and I give an exactly case which we're going to deal with now. This will answer your question, all right? So I'm going to say hello, Michael.
Hello.
Welcome, Rafur Shalom. Nice to have you with us, Kanai.
Thank you, Emma.
Good on you. Okay, so here's our case. Is it coming from here? All right, let me just shut the blind. That's okay. Now, it can get pretty fierce this time of day. Oh, is that better?
That's a good hocus
Okay, so imagine that I want to borrow my. It's my son speaking. Hello? Right, I've just, when are you going to be there? Right. Okay, can I call you at about 3/4 of an hour? So just make a Morris here now. I'll call you up. Thank you. Okay. And here's Malcolm. Sorry about that. Okay. There we are. Right. So here's the situation. And we've done this before. So we all know this. I am borrowing money from somebody, buying £1,000. You remember the fridge? Here we are again. So I give him my fridge. Hello, Malcolm. Welcome. So I give the lender my fridge as collateral. So if I can't pay, put it on ice. If I can't pay him back, he's already got my fridge. He's got that security, and then he loses my fridge. It's gone, and there's various things that might have happened to it, but bottom line is it's not there. So, I come to him in high dudgeon and say, "You've lost my fridge," and now we argue about the value of the fridge that has disappeared. Okay. And there's 2 ways this can go. We know that the loan was £1,000, and I gave him the fridge as collateral. Now it's lost. There's 2 scenarios that we could have. One is where I claim the fridge was worth £1,000, and he says it was worth 500. So what's happening is that sorry, let's change that case. I'm sorry. I'm going to cherry pick out the right bits. He says the fridge was worth 5 pence. I say it was worth £500, which means that I'm agreeing that I owe him some money, but not all the money he's claiming. He's claiming £995, £999.95, and I'm agreeing to £500. You with me so far? So I still owe him money, but now I'm claiming I owe him less because the fridge has disappeared. I say that fridge is worth 500, and now he's gone and lost it. Well, I'll delete that take that off my loan, and I'll pay him the rest. But he said no, the fridge was only worth 5p, so I still owe him £999.95. So the difference is between 500 and 999.95. So in such a case, I'm agreeing to part of what he owes. Of what he claims, rather. I'm agreeing to part of what he claims. I agree I owe him money. He's claiming 999.95. I'm only agreeing to 490 or 500. So there's another shvu'a, not Rav Huna shvu'a, another one, which is from the Torah itself, that says that when you claim money off me, and I only agree to some of it, I need to make a shvu'a. Because the point is that maybe I want to deny it altogether, but I can't because you did me a favor, you lent me money. So I only agree to some of it to kind of push you off. Maybe that's what's going on. So the Torah says, right, make a shvu'a. We got you back to rent.
But how can it be that your estimate is correct?
Well, we don't know. It's disappeared. It could be. Could be. I mean, a fridge might be
No,
worth.
but if he says it was that pattern,
I say no. It's worth a lot. Worth a fortune.
but it's all against it.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know what to do. So, but in effect, what it means is I'm agreeing to part of what he's claiming, not the full amount. If you claim money off me and I deny the whole thing, you say I owe you £1,000, and I say no, I don't. That's it. Case closed. Unless it's witnesses or documentation, or whatever. But if I agree to part of what you're claiming, then I have to make a shvu'a.
Did you say shvu'a is different from Rav Huna?
Not the Rav Huna shvu'a.
No, but is it a different one? Or...
It's the same. It's the same text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same form, but it's a different. It's coming from a different place.
Okay.
So we've got two shvu'as here, which you need to bear in mind. One shvu'a is the one that when I'm holding something of yours, and now I say it's gone, I've got to make a shvu'a. That's Rav Huna shvu'a. This other one about partial admission of a debt is a Torah shvu'a. Torah itself talks about it in Mishpatim and says that if you agree to part of what somebody claims from you, you have to make a shvu'a on the bit you don't, you deny. Now then, let's flip it for a minute. Our second case is where the lender says that fridge was worth £1,000. And I say, the borrower say, no, it's worth 1,500. So now I'm claiming off him. And he is admitting to part of what I'm claiming from him. So the borrower says, the collateral I gave you was worth far more than the actual amount of the loan. So now you've lost it, you owe me. You with me? You with me still? Okay. So now the borrower, the person who was the borrower, has now turned into a lender. He's saying, you owe me for that fridge that disappeared because it was worth 1,500 and I only borrowed 1,000 of it. So you owe me 500. And let's say the lender says, well, it was worth 1,100. So I owe you 400. You're paying 5. I'll give you 4. You still with me? So we've flipped it again. First case was where the lender claimed that the fridge was worth 5p, and the borrower claims worth £500. Second case is where the borrower claims that the fridge was worth more than the loan, 1,500, and the lender agrees to 1,400. So now the borrower is claiming money off the lender. To turn it around.
Reverse roles.
Yeah, that lies like that. It can happen. The borrower came up. The borrower said, "You owe me 500 quid because you lent me 1,000. The fridge was 1,500. You've lost the fridge, so I want 500 back." And the lender says, "Steady on, 1,400 it was worth, but 1,500 no. I only owe you 400 pounds." So now the lender is admitting to part of the loan. So the lender has to make a shvu'a to the borrower. You still with me?
Yes.
You're cool.
All right. So you know with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now then, here's a funny thing. In the case, the second case, where the lender claims that the fridge is worth 1,400, and the borrower says it's worth 1,500, the lender makes a shvu'a. I get that. In the first case, something very strange happens. Well, let's go with the first case again. The lender says the fridge was worth 5 pence, and the borrower says it was worth 500 pounds. So the borrower is admitting to part of what the lender is claiming. The lender is claiming 999.95, and the borrower only admits to 500. I'm going to ask you a stupid question now. Who makes the shvu'a in that case? I'll tell you again. The lender is claiming 999.95. The borrower admits to 500. Who makes the shvu'a? You're wrong. No, I'm sorry. You're right.
I would say the borrower.
Yeah, you should be wrong, but you're right. Sorry, I was so expecting the wrong answer there. I didn't even think. I'm really sorry. So Alan, go on, talk to me.
I would say the borrower.
Alan says the borrower. Alan should be right, but you're wrong. Reverend Levin should be wrong, but you're right.
Always when you're making a decision, sometimes go with the opposite.
You're quite right. You're quite right. Now, this is a really weird situation because at the end of the day, the lender is claiming 999.95 of the borrower, and the borrower admits to part of what the lender is claiming. That's a classic case where the person making a partial admission to a debt has to make a shvu'a. And yet the brisa, which we'll come to shortly, in a roundabout way, says the opposite. It says that the lender has to make the shvu'a. And this is astonishing. The lender is the one claiming the money. It should be the borrower who makes the partial admission who has to make the shvu'a. That's the classic case. But what actually happens?
Rabbi,
Yeah.
just my mind is thinking: is it possibly that way round? Because maybe there's been an incorrect valuation, and maybe it's not actually worth what the lender thinks it actually is. Is that anything to do with it? It might be completely wrong.
You're close. You're close. A bit more than that, but you're close. You're close. Bear with me.
Okay.
So we got this case where the fridge has disappeared. The lender says it was worth 5 pence. The borrower says it was worth 500 pounds. So the lender's claiming 999.95. The borrower says, "I'll only give you 500. That should be a classic case. Alan says that should be a classic case of a borrower making a partial admission of the debt. Therefore, he makes a shvu'a. But in fact, the brisa says the lender makes the shvu'a. The lender claiming the money, and the borrower against him makes a partial admission, and the lender makes the shvu'a. Just like you said. But why? Who would know there's such a thing? It's outrageous. Shall I tell you? I wasn't going to tell you anyway.
Simple.
Well, it's actually a bit clever. So here's another issue we have to bear in mind. It's all pouring into it. There's so much stuff. Us rabbis, we're worried. We don't want anybody being invalidated from making a shvu'a. We don't want dodgy dealings and finding that somebody made a shvu'a and then they're found to be lying. And here's our worry, and this is going to sound familiar. Our worry is, okay, so you want to say that, Alan? Fine. So what's going to happen? The borrower will make a shvu'a. It's worth 500 pounds. Therefore, I only owe 500. What if, horror of horrors, the lender then said, no, you're wrong, and I'll prove it. And he produces the fridge. And we say, wait a minute, I thought it was lost. He said, well, I was lying. Here it is. And look at it, worth 5p. Look at it, it's an absolute mess. The engine's gone and it's rusting and it's falling to bits and all the pieces inside are gone. 5 pence. Turns out that the borrower's shvu'a is invalidated by the lender. The lender's holding all the cards. He maintains the fridge is gone. Because the borrower stopped by to check away and said, I'm sorry, the fridge is gone. And that's where all this furore began. If the lender claims the fridge is gone, so he says, but could be out the back, like Rav Huna. It could be round the back. And if the borrower then makes a shvu'a, it's worth £500, he's at risk of being invalidated for any further shvu'as in his whole life by the lender. And we don't want that to happen. So what do we do?
The lender can get a shvu'a.
Exactly. We flip it. Instead of the borrower making a shvu'a, the lender has to make it. So the lender has to make a shvu'a that it's worth 5p. He's not going to validate himself. So it should be the borrower making the shvu'a. Alan was right, but he's wrong. You should have been wrong, but you're right. The person who should make a shvu'a is the borrower. He's made a partial admission to a debt. That's a classic case of the borrower making a shvu'a. But just as you said, we worried that the lender might then drag the fridge into the bank and say, look, it's worth 5p. That was a false shvu'a. We can't have that. So we flip it. We say the person who was last seen with the fridge, the lender, he has to make the shvu'a.
Well, why would he say, you're not going to talk it where he didn't? He still had it in his backyard and said, well, I've got it and I can prove to you it's only worth 5p. And why would you take collateral for something that's a shvu'a worth nothing against the loan?
I'll answer you in one simple phrase: the dog and duck.
Okay.
They're all a bunch of low-life louts. What do I know? What do I care? They're not thinking. They're half drunk anyway. They're not thinking straight. It's all done, back of the fact packet in the middle of the night, dodgy car park, sketchy part of town. This is what they did, and he slept the fridge here on his friend's van. It's all rubbish. You're right. But what can, and then us, the base thing, these distinguished dionim, have to pick apart this mess that's been presented to us. So you're right.
But how can they ask the shvu'a if people tell the base din and the base din are sort of aware this man is a gallant anyway?
Well,
Making a shvu'a makes no difference.
we can't be sure. No, it's not. It's not because we don't know anything. We suspect it. Oh my goodness, we can't be
If
sure.
you suspect the liar,
Yeah.
why would you?
He's still got a cheskaz kashrus. We assume, unless we know that he's actually lied in the past, we assume it's okay. Enough that a shvu'a will smoke him out. That has to be the deal. Okay, so let's recap. Yishakir for that point before. That was really nice what you said. So when the lender claims that the fridge was worth next to nothing, and the borrower claims it was worth a good deal more, it should be the borrower making the shvu'a because he's admitting to part of what the lender claims. But in fact, we flip it and we have the lender make the shvu'a because otherwise we'd be worried that once the borrower's made a shvu'a, he's powerless. And if the lender then produces the fridge and invalidates his shvu'a, it's achem vei. We really don't want to do that. And it brings a shvu'a into disrepute. Somebody makes a false shvu'a. That's outrageous. It's like, a triple murderer nowadays. It just causes shockwaves through the community. Somebody does such a thing. We really don't want to go there. So we flip it. The lender makes a shvu'a. You with me so far? Fabulous.
Rabbi, are there any exceptions to this, or is this 100% of the time?
There absolutely are exceptions. We're about to come to that.
Okay.
Well done. Hold on
Okay.
to that thought.
Okay.
Now, the Gemara comes along and says, wait a minute, I got another problem. I just thought we got this sorted. So we've got the Brisa worked out. And I've not yet said exactly how that works, but we touched on it last time. But never mind that. I just want to get the principles. So the Gemara says, so what you're telling me is the lender makes the shvu'a because we worried that if the borrower makes the shvu'a, the lender might then produce the fridge and invalidate the borrower's shvu'a. So we can't have the borrower doing it. We're worried what the lender might do. Has to be the lender making the shvu'a. Because once he's made the shvu'a that it's worth so much, he's not going to bring the fridge out. It's all going to be fine. The borrower can't bring the fridge out because he doesn't have it. We know he does. We know he gave it to the lender. So the Gemara says, wait a minute. I'm going to blow this apart. I'm going to smash your brisa with Rav Huna. Remember what Rav Huna said? The person who was last seen with the thing has to make a shvuah that he no longer has it. So why do you bother flipping the shvuah? According to Rav Huna, the lender has to make another shvuah anyway. I don't have the fridge. So we flip the shvuah from the borrower to the lender because we're worried that the lender might bring the fridge out and say, look, here's what it's worth. The borrower was making a false shvuah. But if the lender's got to make a shvuah according to Rav Huna, which says that I don't have the fridge, he can't bring it out afterwards. Then he invalidated his own shvuah. So the Gemara says, our brisa proves Rav Huna wrong. I'm going to say that again. There's a lot to take in. I've been working this for 3 weeks.
Trying to work this one out.
I'm sorry, it's really hard. I'm sorry. It's made my head spin. When I've not been able to sleep overnight, I've been going through this in my head, and it's really hard. It's really hard. I got through it countless times. I feel like having lied down now.
Rabbi, you're saying that the flip. I'm just got to get this right in my mind. You're saying that the flip is invalid anyway because, and it doesn't need to happen because once the evidence that I'm just got to get this right in my mind that the fridge doesn't exist. So I'm sorry about this.
No, you're good.
I can't say what I'm thinking.
You're right. You're right. If you go with Rav Huna, who says that
yes,
the person last seen with the fridge has to make a shavua, he doesn't have it.
Yes,
That's a routine matter of course thing according to Rav Huna. So once the lender's made that shavua, we no longer have to worry about the borrower making his shavua followed by the lender bringing the fridge out in triumph to prove him wrong. Because according to Rav Huna, the lender anyway has to make a shavua that he doesn't have the fridge. So he can't produce it after the borrower's made his shavua.
Yeah.
So according to Rav Huna, it shouldn't be necessary to do the switch. Leave the shavua with the borrower. The borrower makes the shavua, it's only worth so much. The lender makes Rav Huna shavua, I don't have the fridge. Everybody's happy. Why does the brisa bother with the switch, according to Rav Huna?
I'm sure there's a very valid reason, which we're going to find out.
Well, we're gonna. It's a bit difficult, and we're going to have to find a scenario that the brisa is talking about to make this work. Not so simple.
Yeah.
So one more time, just to make the question clear. This is what the Gemara has been working towards for a long time, and now we've got there. We said that when there's a dispute between the lender and the borrower about how much the fridge was worth, that the lender is claiming 999.95 off the borrower. The borrower says, no, the fridge was worth 500. I'm only going to give you 500. That should be, therefore, the borrower making a partial admission about this loan, and therefore the borrower should make the shavua. That's the classic case. But the brisa says, no, we can't have the borrower make the shavua, because then the lender might bring the fridge out and prove the borrower wrong. The lender says he hasn't got the fridge, but I don't know, maybe he's a dodgy guy. And maybe in a minute after the borrower's making shavua, say, no. First of all, you're wrong. Secondly, you're not invalid for making shavuos for the rest of your life. Ah, gotcha. We don't want the lender to do that. So we switch the shvu'a. And in this case, when the borrower is making a shvu'a about something that the lender is holding, we take the shvu'a from the borrower, we give it to the lender. The lender has to make sure it's worth 5p. Now, the Gemara asks, if you're going with Rav Huna's rule, that you've always got to make the person last seen with the thing has to make sure they don't have it. If you're going with that, then it shouldn't be necessary to switch the shvu'a around. Because what are you worried about? The borrower's going to make a shvu'a and then the lender's going to produce a fridge? No, he can't do that. Because Rav Huna would say he's got to make a shvu'a. He doesn't have the fridge at all. And the last thing he's going to do when he's made that shvu'a is bring the fridge out. Oh my, there would be uproar. If he made a shvu'a and then brought out the fridge, and he'd invalidate himself. He'd never do that. So once we have the reassurance of Rav Huna that he makes a shvu'a, he doesn't have the fridge. Why do we still need the lender to make the fridge, to make the shvu'a, for fear that if the borrower makes a shvu'a, the lender's going to take the fridge out? Rav Huna is insurance against the lender bringing the fridge out to validate the shvu'a. Can't do that. So according to our brisa, Rav Huna doesn't work. It's obvious that our brisa doesn't have Rav Huna's shvu'a in it. Otherwise, there'd be no need to switch the shvu'a around. This is a tough question. Now, Alan wants to find some clever rationale, but we can't get that far. The question is too good for that. All we can do is shoehorn the brisa into a different context where Rav Huna's shvu'a isn't necessary. We're going to have to find a case where even Rav Huna wouldn't say the lender needs to make a shvu'a. What would be such a case? When would Rav Huna admit, you know what, it's fine. I don't require the last person with this fridge to make a shvu'a. I don't need that. What would be such a case? Let's say we can get a pair of witnesses to say something.
If the other side believes,
no one's believing anybody here. Oh no, I wish.
None of them believe.
No. But let's say we've got witnesses. We've got two witnesses who say something happened.
Well, then if you've got two witnesses, then that's according to the base.
That sweeps the board. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do the witnesses say so that Rav Huna wouldn't need the shvu'a? Rav Huna has to be persuaded that the lender no longer has this fridge. What do we have witnesses? What would you witness?
We saw robbers come and camping.
No, now you're spoiling my share. No, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. No. Let's have something more. Let's think bigger. Let's think Hollywood. Catastrophic scenarios. What happened to the fridge? So yeah, it blew up. You said clear. So the Gemara says, what if two witnesses come along and say the fridge got burnt to a sin? They got blown up. All right? Bang. There was a gas leak in the house, and Baruch Hashem nobody's in there. But there was an enormous explosion. The fridge was smashed to pieces, and there's nothing left. Gone. You just pick up a few screws and a bit of sheeting, and that's your luck.
Yeah, because they got a.
Now, even I would admit that make a shvu'a. That he's no longer got it. We know he hasn't got it because the thing blew up. So the Gemara says maybe our price is talking about such a case. Where witnesses come and say, we saw the fridge get destroyed. An elephant sat on it. It got thrown off a cliff. Whatever you like. Swept away in a flood. It's disappeared. A whirlwind came and ripped it to pieces. So in such a case, the Gemara says, Rav Huna wouldn't require the lender to say a shvu'a that he no longer has the fridge. We know he hasn't got the fridge. Witnesses come and say. So maybe our brisa are talking about such a case.
Too simple.
It's not obviously.
But we're this close. We're this close. I'm don't want to go any further. I want to go back. I'm going to revise everything.
I'm probably going to say, I come back next week.
I am going to say that. I'm not going to finish today. We got a few more stages to go still. My goodness me. But it's so complex. I'm really sorry, guys. It's such a hard bit of Gemara. The only way I can do it is like this. We've not actually read a single word of it, but it's fine. Let's go from the beginning. We know about two shvuos. One is that if you admit to part of a loan, you have to make a shvuah on the rest. Another is if you're holding something for somebody else and it disappears, that's Rav Huna shvuah, you have to make an oath you no longer have it. We got our brisa which says that if a lender and a borrower have a dispute about the value of the collateral, the lender says it was worth 5p, the borrower says it was worth £500, the borrower is admitting to part of what he's owed, or what he owes. Who should make the shvuah? Alan would say the borrower, because he's making a partial admission. But Izzy and Rav said, no, it's the lender. And we say, why? Because we're worried that if the borrower makes the shvuah, then the lender might subsequently produce the fridge and say, look, you made a false shvuah. You're wrong when you said £500. Clearly it isn't. Therefore, you made a false shvuah. So the brisa says, what do? We switch the shvuah around, and instead of the borrower making a shvuah that the fridge is worth £500, the lender makes a shvuah that it's worth 5 pence. And that way, it doesn't make any difference if he has the fridge or not. He's not going to bring it out once he's said what he said.
But how does that look to a basin if the lender said it was stolen, and then the shvuah is made and he says, well, actually, I've got it.
Well,
how would the basin look on that? Why did he lie?
Well, he won't be lying because he would only.
No, why did he lie? I haven't got it, and then he said,
because he's a Rosh and an idiot. That's why.
So how does the basin deal with
going forward? We might have a problem with that. But once he's made the shvuah himself, he's not going to validate himself. He's not that much of an idiot. A Rosh, he may be an idiot. He's not going to bring out his own fridge to invalidate his own shvuah. He ain't going to do that. So be safe. Then we know the borrower hasn't got it. He gave it to the lender. The lender's last seen holding the fridge. But if he makes a shvuah, it's worth 5p, that's going to be the end of it. He's not going to do anything now because he's on his word of honor. So the Gemara asks a question. According to Rav Huna, the lender anyway has to make that other shvuah that he no longer has the fridge. Why then are we worried that if the borrower makes the shvuah, the lender might then produce the fridge afterwards? If the lender anyway has to make a shvuah, then he doesn't have the fridge. We got a second lot of insurance here from Rav Huna's shvuah. And the Brisa seems to be ignoring the presence of Rav Huna's shvuah because the Brisa requires a switch. The Brisa is clearly aware that the lender might bring the fridge out. But according to Rav Huna, once the lender has made Rav Huna's shvuah, there's no longer any worry that the lender is going to bring the fridge out. Elomai, Novos, we have to say the Brisa does not take account of Rav Huna's shvuah, which is the problem for Rav Huna. Rav Huna is an Amoira, he's a later rabbi, he can't argue with the Brisa. So the Gemara says, maybe our Brisa is talking in a case where there were witnesses that the fridge was blown up. Eidim shenisrafa. In which case, Rav Huna would agree. I no longer need a shvuah from the lender that he still has the fridge because I got witnesses that you have. It's history. It's just a few shards of twisted metal. And then the Gemara says, "Well, the Brisa still wouldn't work." You say that won't work at all. Your answer is wrong. But why that is, I have to wait till next time. I can't do any more because it's I think we've done enough today. So I'm gonna leave it there. We've got the prospect of an answer, but it doesn't work. But Reverend Levin has already given the correct answer. Kudos to you. Why your answer is so brilliant, we'll have to find out next week.
Why don't we come back next week instead?
You better have. Otherwise, I'll be very cross.
Okay, where I am, I'll be here.
Yeah.
Please God.
Yeah.
Even in South Africa, I'll be on the Zoom.
Be on the Zoom. Be on the Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, you take care. Thank you everybody for coming. Okay, goodbye to everybody on Zoom. I'm going to stop the I hope I'm recording still.
Your Gemara Shiurim second.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
It's not because David told me.
Here we are. Right, we're going to stop recording now. There we go.